right, folks. I'm back. Outcast here. What's up, everybody? What's up, YouTube? I'm back with another race weekend at the Netherlands now. Last weekend was Hungary. If you are just joining us, I've just decided to kind of start exporting my races to YouTube. And using it as sort of my continuous like racing journal. So yeah, I'm in the middle of the season right now. We're just getting to Netherlands. I'm racing for Red Bulls, the Racing Bulls against ARVID LINDBLAD, and the goal this season or next season is to get into the Red Bull of Isaac Hadger. The current season is going okay. Carlos Sainz is the next nearest championship rival in the Drivers' Championship. It's not impossible that we end up beating him, but he's driving great, and I'm having some consistency issues, so that's going to be difficult. Isaac Hadger behind me in the Red Bull, only 4 points away. That's going to be tough to keep him behind. Albin is another one of our rivals, just in that he's in a Williams. And then, of course, our teammate ARVID LINDBLAD in the Racing Bull there, who we need to beat every qualifying session, every race, if we can manage it. And of course, if you look over the constructor standings, we're P6, far ahead of Alpine, clearly the best of the rest. Williams is sort of in our, I would say, target range, but it's going to be tough with two drivers who aren't consistently scoring points. So that's been a problem of mine, a problem of LINDBLAD's. LINDBLAD's actually only scored points once, I think, this season, but I've been sort of all over the place. Starting to get a little bit more consistent in the midfield there. So hopefully that translates into a few more points going for the rest of the season. I do tend to do a little bit better on the back end of the seasons, so I'm hoping that I haven't just jinxed myself. But as you can see, actually, let me get myself into our practice components for the weekend. If you didn't see the first episode at Hungary, what I basically do... Oh, we have a secret meeting. Okay. What I basically do is run the full practice session. Not a full practice session, but I do one practice session. I'll actually drive out in the car. I'll do the race strategy program, get a feel for the car, adjust the setup and everything. Then we'll do a qualifying session, a short qualifying session, and then we'll do the race. So the whole thing approximately is about 2 hours or so. And yeah, so I'm going to turn the camera off and basically treat this as sort of an experience. If you want to let me know in the comments about, maybe any sort of tips on my driving, tips on how I'm playing the game, settings that I'm using, my component strategy, like whatever you think is standing out, I could probably benefit from. It'd be great. I'd love it if we could kind of all learn as we go. But yeah, so again, the goal here is to get into Isaac Hadger's car and take on Max Verstappen in the Red Bulls. It looks like I have a secret meeting. So I think in the last episode we ended up with a meeting with Red Bull. So I'm maybe it just didn't save, and that's what this is. So we'll play through it again. Difficulty is at 108. It's the best I've been able to get to. That seems fair. And I'm not using any assists, no flashbacks, no nothing. Just sort of what you see is what you get, and it's the experience. So I'm going to turn off my camera, and I'm going to try to just speak to the most immediate sort of targets and goals on my mind, strategy-wise and everything. But other than that, I'm going to just sit back and enjoy, and let me know if you see anything I could do better. I also do stream live on Twitch. That's how I record these. So I do tend to be online around 2, 3, 4 p.m. Eastern times. That's probably going to change shortly, but I do want to get through this season in the next week or so. So, yep. I'm going to shut up now and see what the secret meeting's about. Okay, so this is a separate meeting where we're now continuing talks, I think. As opposed to accept the talks. I don't know if that's different.
Been scouring the socials and asking around, and I'm delighted to say that the team are none the wiser about us chatting with anyone else. And the meeting went well, too. I know. I'm amazing. You're welcome.
I am running this strictly as a driver, so I don't have any control of this. I'm only concerned if they start messing with the brakes. Then I will step in. There's a sprint race. I think we're gonna have to go harder. And suffer hards on the sprint race so we can have 2 mediums for the real race. I think that's the plan. Once again, I'm streaming this live on Twitch at twitch.tv/theoutcast with a 0. It's a 0, not an O. And recording this to be put on YouTube, so sometimes you might catch me talking to my chat if I have anybody watching. But yeah, we're only gonna have the 1 practice session, so I need to focus up here.
I've had a chat with the R&D team about the new parts, and we're happy that they've been integrated into the car okay. With any luck, you'll be able to feel the improvement, so go and give them a try.
Gonna run a baseline here.
There'll be a lack of rubber out on track, so take it easy for the first couple of laps.
I'm not gonna push it too hard this first go. I am gonna do a second practice session of strategy. top side. Okay, we got some tire balancing to do. I want a little bit more. I'm not sure yet. We'll run it again.
Okay, when you're ready, let's go.
offside's still too warm. Box the slap.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
Tire wear was better with this one. I didn't seem to have an issue with the ride height. That's the one we'll take. Sorry, I just had to think through my setup there for a little minute. Because it was not getting out of it what I wanted. This seems to be better. Okay. I think I'm going to be good with this. And we have a sprint race to see.
And if today's practice session is anything to go by, we're in for an exceptional weekend of Formula One.
Yep. This is looking good. Hopefully I can get some decent points here. I've got the sprint race to sort of learn from for the full race, so... change out my engine components. And we're off to qualifying. Sprint qualifying.
Welcome to the all-action sprint qualifying. We are setting the grid for the sprint race tomorrow. It is going to be a really intense session, and it starts right now.
We'll save that soft for the last lap. There might be... maybe we'll do 2 laps. 2 bankers. With that much fuel. Especially on the mediums. Yeah. Oh man, I was accelerating the time this whole time. That's not good. Okay, we're gonna skip that. We're gonna skip that run then and just do 1.
All set, we're ready to go, so let's get the car out.
That's a mistake, team. My bad, guys. Let's get out there. Weather report.
No threat of rain for the time being, conditions look good. Okay, dry seem like the best tyre for now.
He's gonna go now. Shit. Need to get back quickly. Get another lap in.
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
Oh my god, guys, hurry up. Hurry up! It's qualifying. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Okay, that's all the checks complete. We're
Here we
ready
go.
to go.
Last lap. Oh my god, the McLarens are just always in the way. Damn. Oh my god, P5. Hell yeah. Oh.
Well, that concludes sprint qualifying. So much action still to come this weekend.
That's got to be easily my best result. Easily in qualifying. Where'd my teammate end up? Lindblad in P17. Where's Hadger? P12. Where's Signs? P4 right in front of me. Okay. Beautiful. All right, boys, let's move on to the sprint.
Welcome to today's sprint. This is shaping up to be another fantastic weekend. Zandvoort circuit then, 14 corners, 10 to the right and 4 to the left, with plenty of steep camber and elevation changes to keep our drivers on their toes throughout the 2.6 mile lap. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. A fantastic effort from Andrea Kimi Antonelli puts him on pole position, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Sainz, Wilson and Gasly, Leclerc, Piastri, Bortoletto and Ollie Behrman, Colapinto, Hadjar, Esteban Ocon and Albon, Hamilton, Perez, Arvid Lindblad and Nico Hülkenberg, Russell, Bottas, Stroll and Fernando Alonso rounds off the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint. It is going to be some race today. I'm Alex Jakes. Joining me is Naomi Schiff. So a sprint race today, and that means lights to flag, no stops. And how is that going to affect the driver behind the wheel? It feels like an obvious question, but I think everyone wants to know. At this stage, are you nervous or excited?
It certainly is a time leading up to the race where drivers feel quite nervous because that adrenaline is starting to build and it gets into your mind. So you've got to stay focused, try not to distract yourself too much. But I will say that it's once the formation lap starts, at least it was for me, that was a time where the nerves started to calm down and I got really honed in and focused on the start that was coming.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
I think we have to go hards if I want to have another set of mediums in the race, which I do. going. Here we go.
As the grid is formed, be ready with the clutch.
Might just be a matter of time with the tires. Might be able to get a move or two done in a few laps. Might have one of them into turn one next lap. sooner than that.
Okay, careful with the overtakes. That was a bit risky. We could have received the penalty.
Yep, roger that. Leclerc's catching. P2. See if we can get him. He's out of energy. Or no, one more lap after this. This will be my first win. I can keep it together. Kind of overcooked that one. P1, baby.
Yes, yes, come on, we're on the podium. Good job this weekend. That's a great drive. Thank you.
That's the first P1. Yep, first win. It's a sprint race, but I'll take it.
That is it for the sprint. Join us next time for qualifying and, of course, the main event, the Grand Prix. We will see you when Formula One returns.
Yeah, and it looks like Lindblad actually moved up as well to P10. He didn't get a point for that, but that's good to see, because I think he started near the back. Yeah, 17th up to P10. That's great for an AI. We had the fastest lap. We ended up winning from P5. Oh my goodness. Finally cracked that egg. All right, let's look at the highlights here, starting from the back. I had a pretty good start, I must say, even for the hards. Was still a struggle to get in front of anybody. But when I saw them go 3 wide, I thought, let's try to keep some clean air on the front wing there. And it worked out. Got ahead of Sainz. Was able to tuck in with Verstappen there, but didn't want to get too spicy right off the bat. Except, of course, they refused to stop fighting each other, so... That was my one attempt, and I think ended up tapping his rear. I was surprised I got some decent speed out of these straights, that's for sure. Oh yeah, we got the double overtake done over the McLaren and the Red Bull of Verstappen and Norris. Whew. And that cleared us up to go chasing down Antonelli, which I think took me 2 or 3 extra laps. I was able to get it done though. Hell yeah, brother. That's what it's all about. And we're going to take that into the full race now. For sure. Car felt great, honestly. I didn't really have a problem with it. I feel like the only adjustments maybe would be on the diff, but that's really all I'm looking at right now. Let's try to win this race. Let's try to get a good qualifying spot.
With partisan support that we rarely see anywhere else on the calendar, there is an incredible atmosphere at Zandvoort. We're setting the grid for the Dutch Grand Prix in qualifying.
This is the only thing I would consider changing. From this to this. I think probably leaving it where it was is probably the better idea. If anything, just this.
Right, the car's ready. Let's get it out there.
We're gonna do a few laps to burn off this fuel.
so ahead. Okay, so their best lap time, 1 minute 12.0.
I'm gonna go this lap. Well, that's a mistake. Maybe we can go again right now. I had good momentum there, as ugly as that was. P4. I'll take that. Hell yeah.
Less than 1 lap of fuel left now. The tank's pretty much empty.
Car felt good. Just in front of Carlos. Again. Albin in P10. Lindblad P13, that's not bad.
Everyone ready? Okay, let's go.
I'm gonna try to sneak in one extra outlap. Get that fuel down. Starting a second outlap when everybody else is coming out. The AI makes no sense when it comes to outlaps. No sense at all. Could not improve. I tried a different strategy for that qualifying lap. We still managed P7. George Russell's going to get a penalty, which means we're probably going to get up into P6. Signs up in P4. Albin, P12. Hadger, P13. That is good. And Lindblad down in P16. Okay.
For years, the people of Zandvoort fondly recalled the Grand Prix they used to hold, and then came along Max Verstappen. Across Europe, the Orange Army sold seats and seats and seats, and now they have their own Grand Prix. It is time for race day in the Netherlands. 4 lefts and 10 rights make up the 14 corners of the narrow and demanding Zandvoort circuit, with plenty of peaks and valleys over the course of the 2.6-mile lap, which will demand absolute concentration from our drivers here today. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Andrea Kimi Antonelli lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who will start from P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Sainz, Bottas, Charles Leclerc, Wilson, Piastri, Russell, Hamilton, and Pierre Gasly. Colapinto, Albon, Isaac Hadjar, and Norris. Perez, Lindblad, Nico Hülkenberg, and Lance Stroll. Ocon, Alonso, Behrman, and Gabriel Bortoleto completes the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. Welcome to the commentary box overlooking the circuit. I'm Alex Jakes, and joining us for the race today is Naomi Schiff. Well, it's an excellent sprint yesterday, but we're back to the usual format now. How do they continue what they started? Not their finest performance yesterday. How do they bounce back today? Now, those final hours before a race, did you have a routine?
Well, every driver certainly has their own way of preparing themselves before a race. But I can tell you that pre-race rituals are a real thing. When I was in go-karting, I used to touch every wheel in a specific sequence before I got into the kart. And then I stepped up to cars and had a specific set of fireproof base layers just for race day. So watch the drivers when they're on the grid. Some may be sitting on the floor and isolating, others may be up to other things that they do. But these little things really help their minds get ready for the race.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
I have 2 hards? I should have two mediums. Hey baby. About an hour. Should take about an hour. How do I not have another set of mediums, though? I should. Okay, well, I don't... This game's broken, then. let's do this then. What if we did, though, one of these? That's interesting. Okay. Okay, hun. I'm wondering if soft, hard, hard is a good idea. And then I have a set of mediums if there's a safety car. That sort of makes the most sense to me. Let's do it. Let's do it. Taking a risk. Hold on 1 second. I'm getting messages. Sorry, just bear with me 1 second. I need a message. I have a message I'm needing to. Oh, okay. We're good. We're good. Weather report.
No rain expected, no rain expected for the time being. Dries definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
Championship status.
Okay, as things stand, we'll be 9th in the championship.
We're basically going as aggressive as possible first stint.
patient and watch for those lights. condition still looking good.
So far, strategy is going great. Wish I could catch Antonelli, but wasn't everybody. Oh my god, Sainz fought back Verstappen. If anything, this is helping us maintain podium position.
We're going to box this lap and push hard on the impact.
Might sneak out in that nice little empty
Okay,
space.
mate. Right, we've got some clear track in front of us, so let's make best use of it and make the next lap a quick one. You got this.
Yeah, despite my positioning, I'm losing time. 50% on softs.
Pit now, pit now.
Box the slap. Box the slap.
Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please. Okay, don't worry about that target for now. Let's just focus on this pit stop.
No.
You only have to stop once now. One stop left.
somehow got overtake mode. Lap 21. Driver in front.
Leclerc ahead. Time last lap, 1:14.6. Okay, gap to the car ahead, 1.1 seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Their tyres are 12 laps old. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. Right, you're closing in by around 1.4 seconds a lap.
So he has 2 stops remaining. I've only got 1. And I've already caught up to him in P2. Catches up. We got to keep him behind us as much as possible. Slowly but surely he's catching, but not a lot. Like, he should be catching me much faster than on those fresh mediums. I've been on these, what, 10 laps? He's been on fresh mediums for like 2 laps. Fastest lap.
Say that again, we're having trouble receiving you.
Overall fastest lap.
You're leading the pack, that's P1. Okay, Antonelli behind. You've got 4 laps until your pit window opens. You've got 20 laps left until the end.
Fastest lap.
I didn't catch that, mate. Just say it again. Your pit window's going to open in 3 laps time. Pit window opens in 3 laps.
I'm not sure why I can't get the fastest lap. Fastest lap.
Please repeat, you're breaking up.
I need to give up on that. I'm ruining my race.
We're approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time.
What happened to Antonelli? He's like 14. What happened? Did he pit? Oh!
Okay, safety car deployed. Safety
Oh
car's been deployed.
my
Watch your
God.
delta. Make sure you keep it positive as we catch the pack.
Box this lap.
Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap.
I almost just got another penalty. don't know what happened. They're so far behind me now.
Right, drop your speed. Our delta's too low and we're going to risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately. Right, mate, ARVID is in the pits. ARVID is in the pits.
Oh my god, they're all going on to softs. I saw Verstappen on hards, so he's a target.
Okay, we're coming up to the safety car now. Do not pass it. You are the leader. Follow the safety car.
So we're not going to fight Leclerc or Piastri or Hamilton too badly. We're going to fight maybe Stroll, but we're going to fight Verstappen. He's on hards. Fresh hards. Championship status.
As things stand, we'll be 8th in the championship.
This is probably the last lap. Should be in this lap.
Okay, the safety car's coming in this lap. We'll be pacing the field in sector 3. Make sure to respect the delta until the safety car's into the pit lane.
are all going to have to pit again. You're not able to pass me even on the hard, even on the softs?
Okay, mate, Piastri's behind. We want to keep them behind for me. This is super critical for our strategy.
His tire's already starting to die.
We're approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums.
Excuse me? Verstappen's the next clearest threat, and he's 7 seconds behind, so I think at this point I should probably start thinking about protecting these tires.
Box. Okay, really good. You hit that target nicely. There's a long way to go in this race, so let's keep it clean.
I'm pulling from them. This has been my most dominant race so far. Last lap. I'm about to win my first race. Let's go! P1, baby. Both races. Huge.
Absolutely awesome. Just amazing, mate. Well done.
Woo! Let's go, boys. First win of the season. P2, P1s. Let's go.
Many doubted whether they could pull off the win here in Zandvoort, but they've done so in spectacular style.
Let's go, baby. Woo! First win.
It's one thing to put fast laps together, but to make these moves stick without losing too much time, that's real racecraft.
There it is. There it is. It all finally came together.
Time now for the podium celebrations, and how well deserved is this one? It's a team with a history of giving young talent a chance. They've taken the win today. Racing Bulls on the top step.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. First win. We won the sprint race, too. Most dominant race of the season so far for me. Easily. Now we got Red Bull wondering how many points they'd have if I was in a Red Bull alongside Verstappen here.
I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for the next one.
There it is. There it is. Whew. Started P6, ended P1. Verstappen caught back up. Where did Lindblad end up? P18. Oh, he actually went backwards. That's not good. Albin, P9. That's not good. They got a point. Hadger, P8. Sainz ended up in P11. What happened to him? P4 stops. He must have had an issue. He must have had an issue. Okay. Let's take a peek at the highlights. I had a pretty good start, must say. Measured. Very measured race. Starting off in the P6 Racing Bull right there in front of Leclerc. I went down the inside, but I did not feel safe dive bombing it. Noticed Sainz was also on softs. So, took my time there. Managed to kind of sneak down the inside of Verstappen there on his hards. Or medium, sorry. So I was happy to make that move. And then I was very surprised to see Sainz up in P2 here, but I figured that won't last if we can get the softs, get ahead of him on the softs, which we did, so. Some clean overtakes. I don't think I've pushed the subject here. I think I kind of chilled behind Behrman for that. I wanted to kind of keep my battery in order here in case I had to defend. I could have overtaken him there too, though, honestly. Yeah, look how much more grip I had on those fresh hards. Yeah. Just a lot of nice rounds. Not a lot of nice overtakes, too, I think. Very measured race. Not too many mistakes. But just solid good race. One major mistake going into the pits. But we managed to solve that. Yeah. Okay. That's a great result. Totally dominated this weekend. First place in the sprint race. First place in the race. That's a huge chunk of points for us. That's for sure. Moves us into the top 10 of the championship. Whew. Yep. We beat our rivalry with Isaac, whose car we're about to take. Oh, oh, oh. Okay. Big boost here. Okay. Wow. Starting to look good for me, that's for sure. Yeah, okay. Well, if you're still here, still watching from YouTube, thank you so much for stopping by. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the driving, what you thought of the setup, the session. Like, give me something to try next race, maybe, to learn from. Which will be tomorrow. I'll probably be streaming around this time, around, I'd say 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm streaming on Twitch, twitch.tv/theoutcast. It's with a 0, not an O. Yeah, once again, we're aiming for Isaac Hadger's car in the Red Bull, and so far, it's going well. That P1 is going to sit beautifully there. That puts us actually cleanly ahead of Carlos Sainz. So as long as we can kind of keep rolling along with some points here, I'm hoping that we can kind of stay ahead of Carlos. And actually, we're within striking distance of Williams now in the Constructors' Championship as well. Lots going on. Lots going on. So yeah, follow me, give me a subscribe, come check me out. Tomorrow around 3 or 4 p.m. Eastern, I'll be streaming Monza. And yeah, I'll be streaming that live, and we'll be putting it on YouTube. So thanks so much for stopping by, guys. Catch you guys later.